Hi guys, in this video I'll be giving you a quick walkthrough of the new Letterboxd Automation Suite 21.3. I've made a video a while ago for version 16 and I'll link that in the description. That should give you some more details about specific features. In this one we'll just have a quick look at what's new and the current state of the app. So as you can see, there are a few different elements on the interface. There's a new 24-hour panel which holds your stats from the last 24 hours. And as you can see, it looks a little bit different. We've added a couple more elements. Then there's the engagement tab, which holds your engagement list. This is all the people who've liked your reviews. And then you have several options on the left side and a couple of tasks. Smart unfollow, debt, payoff, and also a Autoliker, which is more manual, as in you can select specific users you want to give likes to, and you can also select how many likes to give them. Then the settings panel has a couple more options, which we'll be getting into shortly. First things first, I'll do a reset of the whole extension just so you can see how it looks from the beginning. When you first install it, you'll be looking at this screen. You have please pin Letterboxd Automation Suite. It's a notice here in the corner. You can just press OK. Basically, it's asking you to pin it so you can have a quick shortcut for the extension in your browser. All you have to do is click the puzzle piece, and then you look for Letterboxd Automation Suite, and then there's a pin button next to it. If you click that, now you have a button for it, and you can always click this to quickly get to the extension. Then there's this notice, which is like a welcome screen. You have two options. You can either continue to app, or you can straight away restore a backup from a previous version. And this way you can have all your settings and all your data come back right away. For the purpose of this video, we'll just do continue to app, just so you can see the initial state of the extension. So as you can see, we're now in the main screen in the dashboard, and you have a few options already. You have the unfollower finder, you have the automated mass follow, and you also have this notice which says activate the engagement hub. What this means is you won't have access to some of the features until you actually do this. It's a very simple process. You just click this button and it will start going through all of your movie reviews, and it will make a list of everyone who's liked them. And based on this, you will have basically your engagement list, which just says who's been active and liking your reviews, and then you can use that information to do a few more cool things, which I will show you after the scan is done. Now if we look at the log, you can see it's going through all of your reviews, starting with the most recent ones. It's going through them quite fast. So keep in mind, each review has a few different pages of likes, so the script will go through each page and make sure the list is complete. And once that's done, you'll be greeted with your engagement tab. On the engagement tab, you'll see your engagement list to the right, and then on the left hand side you'll have your management tools. You can click update. That will basically just scan your movie reviews once again and gather all the new likes. You have set baseline, and what this does, if you hover over it, you'll see a quick description. Acknowledge all past likes and start tracking your engagement data from this point forward. So basically, the extension keeps track of all the likes you've given them through the extension. Of course, if you like them manually on the website, it won't be able to track those. Then it also tracks the likes received, and based on that, it calculates a debt. However, the extension will not be able to track likes that you've given them outside of the extension or in the past before you've started using the extension. It would be a very long process scanning everyone you've given likes to. It's basically impossible, so we just have to work with the data that we have, and this is why there's a need for a set baseline button. Because let's say someone's given you 700 likes and you've just installed this extension, so you've basically given them 1 like or 0 for the extension itself, then you'll have a debt of 700. So in order to start fresh and have a clean slate, you would click the set baseline button. There's a warning there, and then if you click confirm, as you can see, everything goes to 0. So we start fresh And if I start giving these users some likes, then that will count towards the debt, and any new likes I receive from them, that will also count towards the debt. So that's what that does. Then if you click delete, that will literally just get rid of all your engagement data, and it will delete this whole tab. I wouldn't advise doing that unless you have a specific reason for it. Then you have the smart unfollow, which basically is a tool to curate a list of followers who engage with your content, specifically your movie reviews. What this does is it goes to your oldest followers, it checks if they're in the engagement list, and if they're not, it starts unfollowing them one by one. You can select the number of people you want to do this with in a session. For example, let's say we want to do 10. And if you click Start Smart Unfollow, we'll confirm. And then it will start scanning our oldest followers, like I said. You can check the log and see what it's currently doing. This takes maybe up to a minute until it builds up a list of people who aren't in your engagement list. And then you will see it will start unfollowing them. So as you can see, it's now found a list of users, and it will open them up in these tabs here and start unfollowing them one by one. And here you can see the automated unfollowing working as intended. And then if you check the log, you'll see a list of all the users who've been unfollowed. It will be 10, just as we requested. Now if we take a look at the debt payoff Autoliker, we can hover over this question mark and they'll give us some more details. Automatically gives likes to users on your engagement list to whom you owe engagement, starting with those you owe the most. The process will stop once the session budget is met, and this is where the session budget is set up. This is basically what the limit is of how many likes you want to give. I usually keep it around 100, but you can set it higher or lower, whatever you like. And then you can click Start Debt Payoff and confirm. And this will open up all the people you have debt to in these tabs. Some of them have new reviews, some of them don't. Some of them I've already fully liked. Best thing to do, just keep an eye on the logs, and it will tell you the status of every user. So as you can see, most of them I've already liked all of their reviews. Some of them I still have some debt to. The green lines in the log will be successful likes given, and you'll see the debt remaining as well. And this will keep going until it finishes. Either it completes the whole task and it pays off the debt to every user, or until it hits the 100 limit that we set. Since I don't have a lot of debt currently, or the people I have debt to I've already liked all their reviews, or they don't have any new ones, we will definitely not hit that 100 limit. So this should end soon, and we'll see a summary. And now the final task on this page is the review Autoliker, which you can see the settings for down here. Basically what this does is you can set a number of likes to give to each user you select in this list. You can select the whole list by clicking up here in this top checkbox, and then you'll see 1430 selected users. Or you can simply select manually how many you like. You can even hold down Shift and select the first and last, and it will select the whole group for you. And once we've settled on the people we want to give likes to, we set the target and then we click the button. For example, in this one, I'll do 1 like each to 14 people. Click the button, confirm. And as you can see, all of their profiles are being loaded into different tabs. And this will check if they have any new reviews to like. And if they do, it will drop them a like. And we can always go to the log and see what happens. And as you can see, for all of these users, I've already liked the reviews. But if I really wanted to give some likes, I would just select the whole list, and there's definitely people with new reviews in there. So a new feature I've added that basically works behind the scenes to make all of this a lot faster is the saved progress. So let's say a user has a few hundred different reviews, and that would basically span across maybe dozens of pages of reviews. The task is set to always check the first page first and prioritize the new reviews. But let's say you've already liked all of them up to page 50. then it would have to go page by page until it gets to page 50 to find new reviews to like, and that would be very time consuming. So the system automatically memorizes the last page where the user had unliked reviews, and it checks the first page as usual, and then if everything's already liked, it jumps to the last memorized page, and then it continues from there. So that will save you a lot of time in the long run. And you can see there's this button here which basically says reset saved page progress for selected users. The next liker task for them will start from page 1. I wouldn't advise doing that. This data will definitely help you speed up the process a lot for both the debt payoff and also this Autoliker task. So I would say don't reset it unless you know what you're doing. It always checks the first page first, as I said, so it will prioritize the new reviews. And then if it doesn't find anything, then it jumps to the last memorized page. So I would say just let it do its job. It's working behind the scenes and is making everything better for you. So now that we're done with the engagement tab, let's jump back into the dashboard tab and we'll have a look at the 24-hour activity panel. And here we can see we've added 2 more stats. Before they used to be followed users and unfollowed users. And now we have liked reviews as well, and list updates. List updates basically refers to the updates for the engagement list that we've seen previously. Now below that, we have the 2 classic tasks that we've had for a long time, Unfollower Finder and Automated Mass Follow. So I'll give you a quick look at these 2 just in case you haven't seen them before. Unfollower Finder is basically the main task of the whole extension, and this is what we started with. This was the only thing this extension could do in the past. Here you have 2 buttons. You have start scan and import from CSV. This is useful when you've exported a CSV from a previous scan, so you can see your results once again without running the whole scan. But for this demonstration, we'll do a start scan. And as we can see, we'll have here the progress area, and you see a warning down here. It says max coverage scan is active for your large account. Letterboxd limits user lists to 6,400 entries. To work around this, the scanner uses multiple sort orders. This process takes considerably longer than a standard scan. For accounts far exceeding this limit, results may still be incomplete. So that pretty much says everything. I have more than 6,400 followers, so that's why the scan has to check my list with different sorting orders in order to get as accurate a picture as possible. There's no other software that can do this on the market, and there's no workaround other than this. Unfortunately, that's just a limitation from Letterboxd, and there's nothing we can do about it. But with this smart feature, we get close to accurate results for up to 8,000 followers or following, which is pretty much the best you can expect. But keep in mind, anything over 6,400 is not guaranteed. It is possible it will be missing 1 or 2 followers. That's just how it goes, and currently there's no solution for that. Maybe if Letterboxd changes the rules in the future, or if I find some other workarounds, I will definitely update the software to add these new features. So now all we have to do is wait while the scan goes through all of the lists. As you can see here, sort method, it's going through different sort methods and it's scanning batches of pages in the background. For example, if you look here, batch size 15, that means it's scanning 15 pages at the same time. With a delay of 0.1 seconds and a timeout of 8 seconds. This is all technical stuff that you don't really need to think about too much. Just know that the scan is very accurate. It also adapts to network conditions. For example, if the server is being slow, you'll see some timeouts and stuff in the logs, but rest assured, all pages will be retried until they get the complete information for you. So there's absolutely nothing to worry about. You just have to wait. We're almost done now, and as you can see here, data fetched, and it says removed 4 users from your on your block list, comparing lists, comparing results against engagement list. So it's doing all of these operations. It's also double checking certain users to prevent false positives, which is something that we cannot avoid because of how the website works. But with all of these operations, it's trying to give you the most accurate results possible. And here are the results. You'll see a new tab appear, and you will have 3 columns. You can have 1, 2, or 3 columns depending on what kind of results you have. The left side column is the people who don't follow you back, and these are usually the people that you can go ahead and unfollow. You just click this button and it will go through all of them. It will open them in new tabs, and you'll see it starts unfollowing them one by one. It should be pretty quick. And if we go back, we can check, we can keep an eye on the log, and we can keep an eye on this status section here, and we can see processed 5 of 6. There's 1 more left, which should be done very fast. Yeah, so as we can see, the process is complete, and one of the users timed out, and you can see them in the results still. If we click on their username, we can check, and they are unfollowed. So that was just a temporary glitch, but they did get unfollowed just as we wanted. And then we have these 2 other lists here. We have followers you don't follow back, and we can do the same. We can follow all of them and it will happen automatically. I can demonstrate with a few of them. Let's select about 9 of them or 10, and we can click follow. And again, it will go through all of them and follow them one by one. And that shouldn't take too long. It usually happens pretty fast. And we can see the tabs are closing, and there we go. It's all done now, and we have a list of all the users who have been followed. And now we can move on to the 3rd column, which is engaged users you don't follow. So these are people who've liked your reviews that you're not currently following, and the extension basically says you might be interested in following them, because then you'll have 2 more people who are likely to engage with your reviews if they follow you back. So I would recommend following these guys, and we'll do that right now. And we can see that it is doing it just as we wanted. And now that's done, there's an interesting feature for this. Basically, now they're added to a list. The extension will remember we follow them from the engagement list, and if in a future scan they come up as users who don't follow you back and you unfollow them through the extension will automatically add them to a list, which you can find here in the settings, called Excluded Engaged Users. So this list basically is all the users we've followed from the engagement list who didn't follow back, and once we unfollow them, they were added to the list, so they don't keep showing up in the results every time, because that would be a waste of time, you know. So you can rest assured that this is a one-time process, and after they get added to this exclusion list, you won't see them in the results anymore. Of course, they will still be in your engagement list, so you can still give them likes, but they won't be bothering you when you do the unfollower finder scan. The last task would be automated mass follow, and for this you can set a target of how many people you want to follow and then click the button. And what this does is it makes a list of your recent followers, and then it goes to their followers and follows the most recent people on there. So this way you can have some mutuals who might be familiar with your profile because they've seen that their friends already follow you, so they're more likely to follow you back. In my experience, about 30 to 50% of the people you follow like this will follow back within 24 hours. And then if they don't, you can just run an unfollower scan and it will catch all of them, and yeah, you can just unfollow them. So there's nothing to lose. It's a very good way of building up your following, and it works very well. So I recommend doing that. And as you can see, there's a new feature we've added to this. If we go here to the log, we can see slowdown detected, browser throttling, automatically focusing worker tab to maintain speed, and focus the current worker tab to counteract throttling. And then you can see autofocus successful, follow speed appears recovered. So what this did, it recognized that the task was running slower than usual, and then it automatically focused on the worker tab, which is this tab right here. and that sped up the process. And why the throttling happens is because modern browsers, such as Chrome, are designed to save resources. And what they do is, if a tab is in the background, they consider it as idle, and then they allocate less resources to it. So any task running in there will be slowed down, and this script automatically detects that and then puts it in the forefront. So then it gets more resources from the browser, and then it can run much faster. So it's a very smart feature that is basically set and forget, and it will work in the background and you don't have to do anything. It will keep everything running smoothly and fast. And we can see here we've already followed 20 users, and yeah, that was pretty fast. It took 1 minute and 41 seconds. So now that we've gone through all the tasks, we'll just take a quick look at the settings page, and you can see how I have it set up. You have your Letterboxd username detection up here. You can enter it manually, or you can click the detect button, and that usually will find it for you if you're logged into Letterboxd in that browser, of course. Then you have focus on active tab. I usually keep this off, but if you notice tabs timing out or everything working slower than usual, especially in tasks that use tabs, visible tabs, I would recommend keeping this on. It will automatically focus those tabs and keeps things running a bit snappier. Then we have autofocus on throttle. This is the one I demonstrated a couple minutes ago with the mass follower task. This one I usually keep it on because it auto detects when things are slowing down, and then it focuses on that specific tab. So I keep this one on all the time. It's very good. Then you have run verification pass. This does a double check at the end of your unfollower finder scan and catches any false positives. You can set a threshold of the max results you would like to scan. I keep it to 50. It's a good medium. You don't want to slow things down too much because when you go to follow or unfollow your results, the automated task will still verify to make sure those aren't false positives. So you won't have any problems. It's mostly to filter out your results list so you don't see any fake results, but there's no danger even if you do have some false positives in there, because when you go to actually follow them or unfollow them, there will be another check for that. Then you have the action batch size. I keep this at 15. If you hover over it, it will tell you the recommended values. I wouldn't go over 15, but if you're brave and you have a very fast internet connection and computer, maybe go up to 20. But for most users, I would stick around 10. And if you have a particularly slow machine or internet connection, I would even go down to 5. That would basically just change the number of tabs tasks used in parallel. And if you go down here, we got engagement settings, show engaged non-followers. This is the third column in the unfollower finder scan results, and I usually keep it on. I already explained what it does, and it's useful to find new followers who are more likely to like your reviews. Then we have auto exclude unfollowed engaged users. This is also something we discussed earlier. So if you follow someone from that list, and then in a later scan you notice that they haven't followed back and you unfollow them, then they get added to this list right here, and basically they will not show up in future scans. Engagement list age warning, I have it set to 2. That's the default value, and usually I do a rescan every single day before I start doing any review liking. It's good practice, but even if it's 2 days old, it's not an issue. The more often you can do that, the better. But yeah, so yeah, this basically notifies you when the list is running old, just to make you aware of it, and maybe you can do an update, which always helps. Then on the right hand side, we have the application settings. Let's just close the log for now. By the way, yeah, the log is resizable. As you can see, you can make it smaller or bigger, anything you like, and this value will get saved into your backup, so it will remember this. And also you can export as a text document. You can copy the contents, or you can clear it, and then it automatically collapses like that, or you can do that manually. Anyway, back to the right hand side here, we have light mode. If you prefer light mode, personally I find it a bit bright, but some people like it, so it's there. And also the extension is meant to read your system setting for light or dark mode, and it usually matches that, so it's a seamless experience. Then you have the backup and restore. This is very important whenever you update or whenever you would like to reinstall the extension. I highly recommend making a backup, and then you can come here and restore it, and you'll have all your settings, you'll have all of these lists, and you'll have your engagement list saved as well. So it's a very good feature, and I highly recommend everyone to use it. Then you have check for updates. You can click check now, and it does a manual check, and yeah, you're on the latest version. But you don't have to do this. The extension is programmed to do an automatic check once a day. You won't see if there's an update unless you open the extension, so it won't bother you with background notifications or anything like that. But if there is an update, you will get notified when you open the extension, and you'll have the option to back up your settings right from that screen, and you can go download, and you'll even have instructions on how to update. Then one more look at these three lists. Unfollower whitelist. This one is where you would add users who you know they don't follow you back. You don't expect them to follow you back, but you also don't want to unfollow them. That's usually the case with let's say some influencers you're following, or people like actors or directors, people who are less likely to follow you back. You can add them there. I can even demonstrate that real quick. So we can use the import from CSV feature to add the results back, so we can have a look at them. And as you can see here, we have the unfollowers, and next to them there's this icon, the plus button. If you click that next to a user, he gets added to the whitelist, and you can see the settings button flashing. That's guiding us to go to the settings tab, because that's where the unfollower whitelist is. And as you can see, they showed up in the list. You can enter usernames manually as well, or you can remove them, you can clear. You have various options. You can even check their profile. You can double click the username and it will open their profile. For this demonstration, I'll remove them because I don't actually want to add them to my whitelist, but the option is there if you need it. And when you remove them, they automatically go back into the results, so it's all seamless. Then you have the excluded engaged users, which we already discussed. And then you have the persistent block list. I don't know if you're aware, but certain users can block you. For some reason, these 9 users have blocked me in the past, which means I can still see their profile, but I'm not able to follow them or like the reviews. The extension automatically catches them when you're trying to follow them and it doesn't work. It sees the error message and it automatically adds them to persistent block list, so you won't have to keep doing that, and it's a one-time thing. So pretty much that concludes this overview of Letterboxd Automation Suite 21.3. This is the latest version as of the 27th of October 2025. There will be many more new updates. I'm constantly working on new features. People who've been using this extension for a while know that I tend to drop them every week or maybe every other week, sometimes more frequent than that. I always try to add new features. I'm always fixing different bugs. The extension is in a pretty solid place right now, but I still have plans for the future. I'm still thinking on new interesting features to implement, so yeah, keep an eye on it. When there's a lot of new stuff, I'll make another video like this, but for now, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the software, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.